great.
This is so McG. I can't
Very,
even
very
explain
excited
how
for the
McG
upcoming
is.
season.
Oh, so are we. Thank you.
She is disappeared.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I was
Oh,
like, that is so McG. I can't even explain how G
So I know there was a little change over and everything like that as far as that goes. Did it change anything as far as your plans for season 2, or?
No, not really. I mean, we came in fairly late in the game.
Yeah.
So we're taking what was done in season 1 and we're trying to elevate what already was cool and just try to make it cooler. That comes from adding more emotion to the story, to the show, deepening the characters in the show, making the world bigger. Stunts are cooler. Hired a great stunt coordinator. Visual effects are cooler. Sets are bigger. New York City is all over the show. Everything's just trying to add richness and texture to something that was already cool.
I think you'll see the look is a little bit darker, a little bit grittier, a little bit reflecting, it's an urban fantasy genre. You want to kind of bring that into the show.
Yeah, the guys said that they enjoyed diving deeper into those characters and having a little bit more knowledge as far as their backgrounds go.
Sure. I mean, our goal is to write scenes where the actors show up in the morning and say, I can't wait to act in that scene, right? Because as a writer, that turns us on when we're we get so excited, we're crying, we're laughing, blah, blah, blah. So translated to the actors, I think you guys will see that in performance. They're all so invested now. These kids are so turned on by the material. And watching them, I'm so proud. I mean, being on that panel and seeing how great they are, they're doing great.
So you guys have teased the Sealy Queen. One of my favorite things about this book universe is how rich the download is. Like, it's this whole entire universe of cultures that are sort of colliding and coexisting. So how much more of that are we going to get to see? Because you guys already talked about sort of the technology upgrades for the Institute, which is exciting, but what of the downworld should we expect?
Sure.
With Valentine out there creating a threat to everybody, and the way that Clave is responding to it puts a lot of pressure on this sort of uneasy alliance between the different groups. And we find that really interesting. The Wolfpack, the Vampires, the Sealies. Later in the first 10, it's going to sort of become even more tense.
You'll have to wait for 2B for your Sealy moment. But there is a great scene in 2A where all the heads of the downworld, except the Godfather, get together, and you have the Warlock and the werewolves and the vampires and the Sealies in this meeting of what are we going to do. So that's a great. You really hit on the head, which is the downworld. Cass has created. It's not just vampires, it's not just werewolves, right? It's so expansive, and we want to explore the different relationships too, like Maya and Simon. It's like vampire and werewolves don't like each other, of course not, but yes they do, because they can relate. And it's like, wait, you did what? Wait, you did that? And she can't talk to Clary like you can talk to Maya, because Maya understands what that's like, and Clary's kind of like, well, really, you did that, and so. Creating all those dynamics is so fun.
Speaking on Maya, is there anything you can kind of tease about what to expect?
Total awesomeness. The actress is so good. Her name's Alicia Wainwright. She's young. She hasn't done that much. We saw her audition. We flipped. We put her in, she's in episode 3 as her first, and we're watching, you never know. You just never know. We're watching the cut and it's like, oh my God. She's funny, she's sexy, she's charming, she kicks total ass, including Jace's, and it's really fun. She plays with Luke a lot, she plays with Simon, and she plays with Jace, and a little bit of Clary, but as Cassie said earlier, Clary's kind of on the outside because there's Simon, all these people are now downloaders, but she's great. I think fans are really going to enjoy it quite a bit.
So Cassie, as far as they're taking from your material, was there anything, since I know you're part of the writing team now on the show, was there anything you wanted to make sure they included?
I mean, I'm not officially part of the writing team on the show, but Todd and Darren have been super great about including me, calling me, running through things with me, asking permission for some stuff that's probably going to blow your mind, because it's an interesting and new direction on stuff from the books, and that's been great because in the first season I really didn't have any input, and I feel like
this season I feel much more included, and I feel much more like this season honors the spirit of the books in a way that I really hope that will work for people who've read the books and will be surprised, and will also hopefully appreciate some deepening and some of the world, and getting to see more of it, and getting to and getting to see kind of the world behind the world that we see with Clary, and now we kind of like expand out and see things from other people's point of views too. But I think that they also will appreciate getting to see some of the things that they, like the Sealy Court scene, that they remember and love, and are going to be happy to see that, because it's such a game changer for all of the relationships, and we wouldn't want to miss out on that. So now I actually forgot the beginning of your question.
No, I just wanted to know if there was anything you wanted to make sure they included in this season.
I had said a couple of things that I wanted, and we'll see. But one of them was the Sealy Court, and they were like, yep. And they're definitely, and one of them was Sebastian. And I can't say anything about that, but I was like one of the first things I said. I was like, so, let's talk Sebastian.
So
he's like my favorite villain.
So one of my favorite things about your universe is the Parabatai relationship, particularly in relation to fighting. And one of the things I know a lot of fans wanted to see more of was more action sequences. These are warriors, right? So can you talk a little bit about what you feel like you really want to see in terms of the physicality of Alec and Jace and their Parabatai relationship, and then maybe what you sort of have plans for? Because in the pilot, we got that really awesome unison fight sequence, and I was like, more of this. We didn't really get that. So are we going to see more of that? And what parts of that do you want to see?
Yeah, I mean, I'm totally with you on that. I think part of that was that McGee directed the pilot. He was super into that idea of Parabatai fighting, and then but you get different directors, they're into different things. I mean, I think that from what I've seen, Todd and Darren, and also the network, are super invested in the whole concept of Parabatai. They love it. They love the idea of this deep friendship being really respected and honored in this way. That's unusual, and for me, the idea that the Parabatai fighting creates a different kind of physicality between the characters. That you see that in Emma and Julian, you see it with Jem and Will, and you see it with Alec and Jace. They move together, they anticipate each other's movements, and there's a really great bit, I think it's going to spoil some stuff, in the first episode where Alec is talking to Magnus, and he says, Jace is the other half of me, and if he dies, a part of me dies too. And I was like, I'm so glad to hear that articulated, because, I really felt like, unless you were a book fan, it might have been something that you didn't quite get in the first season. And I was like, so glad to see that, and so glad to see the way that that they're going to develop that. And I know I can't tell you anymore, but I know there's going to be a ton of Jace and Alec stuff with their relationship is really significant. And there's a great new stunt guy who's amazing, and he definitely talked about what it meant to be a Parabatai and how you fight together. So I'm really excited to see how that goes on screen.
You're going to be happy.
Yeah,
if you're a Parabatai fan, not necessarily about the fighting, because quite honestly, that the fighting of it all, which wasn't a pilot, but you will get to see the Parabatai ceremony when they were children.
Yeah. There's a flashback. I didn't know we were allowed to say that.
Yeah, we are allowed to say
awesome.
that. So it's really cool, and we cast these great young actors. So we get to see the evolution. We see the Lizzie, and we get to see all of that. It's really special. It made me
little
cry.
chibis.
It really is a special show together. It really is.
It's so great.
Well, you guys gotta give the credit too.
Yeah.
I know.
Thanks,
Thank you
guys.
so much, guys.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you.